After developing dozens of voice agents, this prompting strategy delivers 99% accurate agent conversations. In this video, I'll break down step by step my multi LLM state prompting process so you can start building high-performing voice agents in Retell AI. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lenny Cowens, and alongside my partner Terrell, we've been building and selling voice AI solutions through our AI agency 601B for the past 12 months. Let's start by heading over to Retell. The voice agent multi LLM states prompt we'll be reviewing revolves around the use case of eliminating voicemail. This is a voice assistant for an electrician business that handles inbound calls, collects the caller's call reason, and then alerts the caller that the business will follow up with them shortly with an estimated time of arrival to resolve their issue. Now, it also sends the information to the business for them to follow up. So let's go ahead and get into it. This voice assistant also does have the ability to book appointments. So if someone does need at-home service, we can go ahead and book that appointment through cow.com. This is a multi LLM state voice assistant. So when you create an assistant, make sure to select that multi LLM state version. And I'll just quickly show you here. When creating an agent, click the create agent and select multi-prompt, not single, multi. So let's revert back to the voice assistant we're working in. And let's go ahead and start reviewing this prompt. So the three aspects that we like to build a prompt based off of are the persona, the rules, and the steps to follow. Now, these are the same three pillars that we build the regular single prompt assistants on. It just so happens that this same framework works perfectly for multi LLM state voice agents as well. So when it comes to the format, we like to use Markdown. And the reason we use Markdown is because it's the best way for a voice assistant to be able to easily interpret and efficiently pull out the information it needs to use in conversation. And that includes staying on the guide rails that you give it. So Markdown is the perfect format for prompting voice agents. So in the persona section, it's comprised of a role, skills, and objectives. The role is essentially the identity of the voice agent. So this voice agent's role is an expert electrician, AI voice assistant named Katie. Now, this electrician handles inbound calls, and the services that they offer include electrical repairs, installations, inspections, and emergency troubleshooting. And moving on to skills. Skills are the tool belt that you give your voice assistant as far as the specialties that it has on call. So one, the skills we want for this voice assistant include customer service, communication skills, problem solving, emergency response handling, product knowledge, and then that includes all of these things, and then data collection. When it comes to the objective, it's pretty straightforward. It's the objective for the voice assistant. In our case, we like to use an objective that plays off of the rules and steps to follow, so there's no contradicting logic when giving these voice assistant directions on how to go through a conversation. So let's continue on to the rules section. We have clarity and simplicity. Keep responses clear, concise, and to the point. So this rule is all about just simplifying things, making it easily to interpret for the end customer. A voice assistant can be a specialist, or it can dumb things down all the way to an elementary school level. So we really want this to be as clear and simple for the customer, the caller making the call in with the issue to interpret and come to a resolution. Personalization. So this comes into play because we want our voice assistant to be empathetic and really cater to the issues that the caller is having. If their house is on fire, we don't want the voice assistant to be like, well, that's great. No, we want it to be able to adapt to that conversation and react accordingly. Lastly, current time. This is a dynamic variable, and we actually do review this and other dynamic variables in another video, so check that one out. But this is current time. It's a default variable that Retell gives us, and it just gives us the current time in PST or West Coast. All right. So take note of that. And if you need to adjust it to your current time zone, you can type in something and add additional text here saying, convert this to West or to Central or East Coast or whatever your time zone is. And let's continue down to the actual prompt tree. Oh, before this, as far as the welcome message, we will have the voice assistant speak first. There's a couple options here. You can have it speak first, do a dynamic message, or wait for the caller to say something first. We're going to have the voice assistant actually say the first message, and the first message will be, hello, thanks for calling Spark Pro Electric. My name is Katie. How can I help you today? And then from there, the conversation will ensue based off of the prompt tree. So let's review that now. And don't worry, I know this seems like a lot, but you can access this template and everything that we're going to review in this video by joining our free Skool community by clicking the link in the description. If you're a voice AI agency owner and you're serious about making money buying and selling voice agents, Voice AI Accelerator might be for you. It's a free community for agency owners to share their journeys on acquiring customers and building great voice AI solutions. So if this is in your lane, go ahead and click the link in the description. So when creating a prompt tree, you always start with the starting state. And the starting state for us is going to be understanding the customer's reason for calling. And going back to the three pillars I mentioned of how we create these prompts, it's the prompt framework. It's based off the persona, the rules, and the steps to follow. So here we're actually breaking down the steps to follow in individual steps and plugging it in to each of these states. So if you do go back and review our prompt engineering guide, you'll see how we convert a single prompt to this multi LLM prompt, and it's actually super seamless. So the starting stage here, the name is reason for call, pretty self-explanatory. And then the prompt in here is all about extracting call reason. Always start the conversation with a greeting message. Listen intently to understand the reason for calling, and then ask additional questions if necessary. This is also, we can really understand the reason for the call because certain actions need to be taken after the fact based off of that reason. Now, when it comes to the questions that the voice assistant could follow up with, we want to give it some examples, and that's what we did here. So that's added information for the voice assistant to stay within guardrails that you give it. All right, so this is a great way to improve its conversational accuracy based off of exactly what you want this voice assistant to say. So we went ahead and uploaded or inputted a couple additional questions, and this should help us extract all necessary information to accurately resolve the reason for this call. Continuing on. The next state is collecting the caller's info. Now, one thing to understand about this, we actually don't input the general inquiry aspect about if a caller has a general inquiry question. And that's the reason for their calling, because it will answer that question automatically. So that's not something we need to put in these states. If it is a general inquiry, it'll handle that automatically. But this specific voice agent is built to understand call reasons. And if they are trying to book an appointment, go ahead and book that appointment for service. All right. So if the call reason is to book an appointment, that is the path condition. And what an agent edges is it includes a path condition plus any information you want to extract to that next step or that next stage in the process. So the path condition for the starting stage onto the collect caller information stage would be if they're requesting a service visit. All right. Now, what do we need to extract from that state and push to the next state? Well, we need the appointment reason. So this is the JSON for the appointment reason, and it's just a property that we needed to extract. Again, the template for this is available in our free Skool community, link in description. But after we collect the call reason and it is a service visit, we will extract the reason for that service visit and continue on to collecting the caller information. In this step, we need to collect their first name, we need to collect their phone number, we need to collect their email address, and we need to collect their actual address. All of these things we need to collect and extract in this stage. But based off of the prompt here, it's just exactly doing that, collecting each of those variables one at a time and confirming after the fact that all the information is correct before moving on to the next step. So that's what this stage is all about. And again, some of this is kind of hard to view here, but we're collecting the first name in a specific way. And when it comes to prompting and some strategies you can use, you will see a couple things here. For one, this is all capital. What capitalization does in Markdown is it's almost like highlighting that specific text for the voice agent. So anything that you want the voice agent to take into account as very, very important, you can go ahead and have it all caps. And that's exactly how the voice assistant will recognize it. So we want to collect these one at a time. You've got to make sure to be very specific when prompting these voice agents because they'll do exactly what you're telling them to do. So one at a time, and we want to spell out the name and give it examples as well of how the conversation might go extracting the name, because every example you give it, it adds that much more to its accuracy. So we did that with extracting the name as well as the number, and then continued on. So after we're able to collect all of this information, we will continue down to the book appointment stage. But first, we need to make sure that we grab all the properties necessary to book the appointment in that next stage and carry it on to that next stage. So path condition, continue once all the caller information has been collected. What information do we need to collect? Well, for one, we have the appointment reason from the first stage, so we need to extract that and keep it going. Next, we need the property address, then first name, email, and then the date and time will actually extract on the next stage. So these are all the bits of information we need that are required as well. So after these are collected and we know that all the information is good to go, it'll pass through to the next stage, which is the book appointment stage. So at this point, again, it's just named book appointment. The prompt here is to collect the preferred appointment date and time. And in this actual stage, we do have the custom function book appointment. So I'll review that as well. But the prompt for this is collect the customer's preferred date, month and day and time, 12-hour clock. These are very important because without these specific things, the voice assistant will have no reference for exactly what date they're actually selecting. For the electrician to come take a look at the issue. Always confirm the requested date and time with the customer. Wait for the caller to confirm the date and time before continuing. So this is all just collecting it, confirming it, and then sending and triggering out that function call after you collect the requested appointment date and time, trigger the book appointment. And it's very important to tell the voice agent to trigger what function you want it to trigger or what tool you want it to trigger. That just, again, increases the accuracy. Just linking up logic to logic there. And notify the caller if the appointment was booked or other actions need to be taken based on the function response. And I explain exactly what occurs in the back end of this function in our custom tools video. So check that out if you want a full breakdown of that. But the function name is book appointment. The description is this tool schedules appointments, and this is the webhook URL. So when this function is triggered, it sends a message with all of the information of the appointment date, the appointment reason, the property address, the first name, the email, all of those things to make, and inputs all of that to book the appointment for that specific caller. All right. Now, continuing on, we don't want to speak during execution. We just want to speak after execution. If you do want to speak during execution, that's an optimization. You can do that. And if you do click this, you can just go ahead and add a specific comment there. I'm going to skip that and continue on. And assuming that everything is good to go and it is booked, it will continue. And that's what we say here. Once the appointment has been booked, continue. And there's nothing else we need to extract here because this final stage, it's just a quality assurance. This is where we're just making sure that the caller has no other questions. And from there, the voice assistant just ends the call. All right. And at this stage as well, you do need to also add the end of call tool. So we went ahead and did that. Description option. This ends the call. Perfect. So now that we've reviewed the prompt, let's go ahead and give this voice agent a call to give it a final test.
Hello, thanks for calling Spark Pro Electric. My name is Katie. How can I help you today?
Yeah, one of my outlets seems to be shorting out and affecting my TV. I think I need someone out here to take a look.
I understand. Let's get someone out to take a look at that outlet for you. I'll need to gather some information to set up an appointment. Could you please tell me if this issue has occurred before, or is this the first time you're experiencing it?
Yes, the first time.
Thank you for letting me know. Could I please have your first name? If you wouldn't mind, could you spell it out for me as well?
Sure. Lenny.
Thanks, Lenny. Next, what's your preferred contact number?
949-610-1111.
Great, thank you. Could I have your email address, please?
Sure. lenny@6omb.com. And that 6 is actually the number followed by OMB.
Thank you for clarifying that. Now, could you please provide your address, including the city, state, and zip code?
Sure. 123 Prospect Avenue, Anaheim, Nevada, 92811.
Thank you, Lenny. Just to confirm, I have your details as follows. First name, Lenny, preferred contact number 949-610-1111 email. Address, lenny@6omb.com address. 123 Prospect Avenue, Anaheim, Nevada, 92811. Is everything correct?
That's all correct.
Perfect. Now, could you let me know your preferred date and time for the appointment?
Sure. It's the 19th at 1 o'clock.
To confirm, you'd like the appointment on November 19th at 1 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct.
Your appointment has been successfully booked for November 19th at 1 p.m. A Spark Pro electric technician will be there to take a look at the outlet issue. If you have any other questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out. Thank you for choosing Spark Pro Electric.
Thank you. Fantastic. And there we go. So the last thing we need to check is just make sure that the appointment was booked in cal.com. Let's head over to bookings. And there we go. The 19th at 1 o'clock with me, outlet shorting, affecting the TV. Perfect. Everything looks great. Well, that's it for today. And if you found this video valuable, please hit that like button. It really helps us reach a wider audience. If you want to see more content on voice AI, make sure to smash that subscribe button along with that notification bell to never miss another one of our videos. We'll catch you next time. Peace.